Hello friends, welcome to day 3 of your beginner yoga journey. Today's class is focused around building strength and stability. You may feel some heat today. I encourage you to welcome it. It's a good thing. It means our bodies are working for us. At any point today, if you're feeling a little challenged, remember to always come back to your breath. Your breath is your anchor. It's there to support you. Additionally, feel free to jump in a child's pose at any time. Do not wait for me or any other instructor to tell you when it's time to rest. You listen to your body. Your body tells you when it's time to rest. So for child's pose, if you aren't familiar, one version of it is where your knees and feet are together, and you can fold over, taking the arms forward, taking the forehead to the mat, or you can bring those hands behind you, coming to one side, any variation here, or you can take the knees out wide with the mat, sending the hips back towards your feet, and then finding a rest here. This is more opening to those hip flexors, where the other variation, knees together, is more of a passive pose. So wherever your child's pose is today, whatever feels better for you today, again, take that any time that you need through today's practice. We'll be getting right into it. So first I want to go through a breathing exercise. Find a nice comfortable seat, and I want to introduce Ujjayi breath. So here is, a lot of people call it fire breath or ocean breath. It's where you can hear that audible to your breath, almost like you're fogging up a mirror, where you're gently constricting the back of your throat. So first let's just go through 2 breaths, nice and normal. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. All that stale air out. One more just like that. Okay, and then take your next inhale. And at the top of your inhale, gently constrict the back of your throat. So when you exhale, you should hear this nice audible sound like the ocean. Hold that constriction on your next inhale. And go through 3 more deep breaths like that, holding that constriction. Alright, and then we'll begin to flutter our eyes open if you had them closed, noticing how you feel. Maybe you feel a little bit more grounded, a little more steady. I love Ujjayi breath, especially during more fiery flows, times where I'm a little challenged. Also times where I'm challenged off the mat, maybe in a difficult conversation. Sometimes it's very soothing just to find that fire breath, find that Ujjayi, and just let it out. It definitely helps you on and off the mat, so keep that in mind. But we'll go ahead and get started. So we'll start with some cat-cow. So finding tabletop position, stacking the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale to drop the belly, open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Exhale, round the spine. Feel one vertebrae at a time as you push up and out of your mat, feeling the shoulder blades draw apart. Inhale to find cow, dropping the belly, going through these at your own pace. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling for cat. And then finding a neutral tabletop position. we're going to reach our right arm forward. So our tricep is hugging the ear. We want to keep a nice straight line. And then from there, lift the back leg. Feet are flexed down. We're not opening too much. And don't kick your leg up too high here. We want to create a line from our hand to our foot, activating the core, squeezing everything in. Our core is helping us with our balance, finding a breath. Hold for one more breath here. Exhale, gently release, and we'll take it to the other side. Right or left fingertips out long, right hand out long behind, or right foot out long behind us. Also, feel free to come down to the toes here. Anything to help you in your practice. Holding wherever we are for one more breath. And exhale, gently release down. Beautiful. Okay, and then from here, let's tuck the back toes. Feel that nice stretch as we rock back onto them. Maybe you have to manually plant your pinky toe down. Rocking back and forth, stretching the feet. Showing the feet some love, who literally get walked on all the time. Also kind of warming up the wrists here. You can find some circular motions. All right, and then from here we're going to press up and out of the palms. Send the hips up towards the sky and find downward dog. So pedaling out the legs, finding your length. Not careful not to collapse in the shoulders. Fingertips spread wide, pressing up and out. Maybe you come to that Ujjayi breath. Okay, and then from here we're going to send that right foot up. We're going to find three-legged dog. So however high your leg wants to go today, you can even just be hovered right above the mat as we find our balance and really work on those stabilizer muscles. But finding three-legged dog, keeping the hips square. Don't want to open the hip too much here. That is a separate pose. I'm going to point the toes. But imagine that if they were flexed, that your toes are pointing the same direction as the left toes. So keeping those hips nice and square. Holding here, and on an exhale, hug that knee in towards the nose as you step your foot through, and then we come up for high lunge. So here, we're actively pressing into this right foot, using our right quad and our core, squeezing everything in as we find our balance to inhale, sweep those arms up and overhead. So feel free to come closer to a wall here, especially as you find your way up. So you're from here, you can use a wall to help you find up as you work on those stabilizer muscles to find your balance. No judgment here today. But we're in our high lunge, arms up overhead, shoulders down and back. So from our high lunge, we're going to pivot onto our back foot. So our toes are facing the left side of our mat, the left long edge, our right foot exactly where it is. And bend into that right knee, opening the hip, taking the arms out, right fingertips reaching forward, left fingertips reaching back, that counter motion. Those opposing forces, taking up space, shoulder blades down. And this is warrior two. Breathing deeply here, pressing into that outer edge of the left foot, bending maybe deeper into this right foot, opening this hip. And on your next inhale, pivot back on those back toes into a high lunge. Exhale, hands down to the mat. You can lower onto that back knee. Send the left or the right knee back to meet the left, and we'll find child's pose, whichever variation suits you. Taking 3 rounds of deep breath here, maybe Ujjayi. And then slowly look up, plant your hands, tuck the toes, press back and up, send the hips up high to downward dog. Pedaling out the legs. This time we'll inhale to send that left leg out and long for 3-legged dog, or we're just hovering it off the mat, finding our balance, pressing equally out of both palms, out of the shoulders. Hips are square. Flex those feet just to check where are we splaying open or are we facing them down. Using a lot of leg muscles here to stay in this pose. And on your next exhale, hug that left knee in towards the nose as you step it through and prepare for your high lunge. So check your stance. Press into that left foot using this left quad. Inhale, arms up. High lunge. Shoulders sinking down and back. Crown of the head nice and tall. Breathing deeply here. Okay, and then we'll all together take an inhale. Exhale, pivot onto that back foot. Right toes are facing the right edge of the mat. Left leg is where it is. And take those arms out, reaching forward and back. Warrior 2. So here again, our core is active. We're not splaying too much this way or this way. Tailbone's nice and tucked. Pressing out of the outer edge of the right foot, sinking into that left knee. And on your next inhale, pivot back onto those toes to find high lunge. Exhale, hands down. Drop to the knee, send it back, and find child's pose. Okay, and we'll slowly begin to walk those hands up towards us as we sit up. And then here we will do a couple more fiery poses before we stretch. So next we're going to come laying on our bellies. And we're going to find locust or Superman pose. So reach your arms in front of you. And then when you're ready, we're going to squeeze those glutes, engage the core and the glutes as we lift those back legs and our arms as we're flying like Superman. Shoulders are plugged down and back. Don't want to be feeling too much pressure in our lower back. We're really using the glutes and our core. Holding for a couple more breaths. And exhale, gently release. We'll do that one more time after you take one more deep breath. Okay, inhale, lift. Don't forget to breathe here. Hold for one more breath. And release. Okay, and then we'll roll onto our backs. And here we're going to find a bridge pose. So laying down, stacking the shoulder blades underneath each other. Walking the feet a little bit closer to the glutes, but you can find your own length as we go up. Find what works for you, the right distance. And then we're going to press the palms into the mat as we squeeze through the glutes and send the hips high towards the sky. So imagine that there's a block, or you could use a block, but for the sake of this, imagine there's a block between your knees and you can't let them open too much. You need to hold that block or hold that pencil right there between your legs. So don't let them splay too far open. Squeezing the glutes, walking our feet maybe in more or out more, finding that distance that feels good for us and our knees. Hold for one more deep breath. Exhale, release. We'll go through that one more time. Take one more deep breath. Okay, when you're ready, press back up. Thighs squeezing together, glutes engaged. Also option to interlace your fingers here to help you press up. Hold for one more breath. And exhale, release. Nice work. And then we'll hug the knees into the chest. And send them back out long. And a reclined figure 4. So take our right ankle over the left knee, opening that left hip, and then reach for the back of that left thigh as you pull it in towards the body. Feeling that nice stretch in the right IT band, the outer leg, outer hip. And relaxing here. Letting the breath come back to its natural rhythm. Maybe roll over to the left side for a deeper stretch. And then coming back, flipping the legs. Pulling that right leg in towards you. Option to roll over towards the right side, letting the left toes rest on the ground or the mat. Coming back, sending the left leg long, reaching for the right foot. This is a great time to use a strap. You can wrap it around your foot to help you grab it as you feel that stretch on the back of the leg. You can also have this knee bent. Just reach in here. And then bend your leg, take that right knee over to the left side, keeping the right shoulder blade glued into the mat. So maybe your knee doesn't quite touch, maybe it's floating. You can use a pillow or block here, or your hand to help support you, and gaze towards the right fingertips. Nice reclined supine twist. Till you get back in, switch the legs, using a strap or your hands reach for that front or that left foot, flexing the foot. And then bending it, take that left knee over to the right, left shoulder blade comes to a T or straight out, but just make sure your shoulder blade is glued into the mat. Don't want it lifting here, or else we're not really getting the benefits of our twist. Breathing here, breathing into that space we're creating in the spine. And then we'll take both legs out long, finding our final resting pose, Shavasana. Fit hands out beside you, palms facing forward. And just let everything get real heavy and relax here. Weight of the body sinking into the mat. Taking a few rounds of breath here. Begin to wiggle those fingers and toes, flutter those eyelids open. And then begin to slowly make your way to a seat. However you want to get there, you can roll to one side and slowly press up. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, open mouth. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. And thank yourself for taking this time for you on your mat. Tomorrow we'll be working on some hip opener poses, so releasing tension in the hips. It's one of my favorite aspects of yoga. I love a good hip opener. So yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day and you're feeling nice and strong. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.